made quite a few of these aluminium knives now. There's a few out there, so I thought I'd just do a quick video to show how to look after the aluminium, basically how to give them a polish. As you can see, this one and this one are the two first ones that I made, and they're starting to look a bit battered now. I use them a lot, and if you leave them lying around, they get a bit grubby, so they should look more like this. Nice polish to it. I mean, that's not great, but it's better than that. So I'll just run through just quickly how you can just keep them looking nice. So there's obviously a lot of ways to polish aluminium. I'm not saying I'm an expert, but this is basically what I use when I'm finishing off the blades. So I've got 1200 grit sandpaper, 2000 grit sandpaper, I've got fine and super fine steel wool, some methylated spirits, and a cup of coffee. If anyone doesn't drink coffee, obviously you can use tea. Another thing I recommend is a mask, because you're dealing with methylated spirits, and some rubber gloves that I don't have. But you do end up with aluminium all over your fingers, which is probably not good, so I recommend gloves. So as you can see, this blade's been well banged up. It's a prototype, so I'm not particularly worried about the scratches and nicks and dents in it. They do get used a lot. Obviously the ones that I sell are a lot better condition, but for the purpose of this exercise I'm just going to use the 1200 grit and 2000 grit sandpaper. If I wanted to get that looking really flash, I'd start off with 240 and work my way up in how fine the sandpaper is. But this is just for me and just for the purposes of the video, so I'm just going to polish it up. So I'm going to start off just with a dry sand, making sure that I sand in a linear fashion. If I start spinning around like that, it gets really quite hard to get the marks out that are left by the sandpaper. What I tend to do is I'll do a dry sand first, and then what I'll use is some silicone lubricant. Just spray that on the sandpaper. And then that just helps the process. I don't know why, but it does. So once you've finished with the 1200 grit sandpaper, wet and dry, just give it a wipe down and then start with the 2000 grit. Exactly the same process. A dry sand first, and then a wet sand. Okay, next step is the fine steel wool. Basically you just dip that in a bit of metho. Exactly the same thing. Just give it a rub down, linear fashion. Again, go around and round, not good. So just up and down. The trick is to do it until the blade starts going black. Basically it'll start pulling off the aluminium until it starts to go dark. Do that on both sides. Just keep up the metho. Keep rubbing. Okay, finally, exactly the same thing, but with the super fine. Reason being that the fine steel wool will leave some little scrape marks in it. It's a very soft metal aluminium, so it's easily marked. The super fine stuff will just get in and really polish all those little scratches out. And again, it just depends on how much time you want to spend on it. Just keep polishing until it starts to get that dark look to it. Wipe it off with a cloth and then start the process again. And eventually it'll come up all nice and shiny. So there you go. Normally now I'll give it a buff with a microfiber cloth, which I don't have, so I'm using this. But that's come up alright. And I haven't spent a huge amount of time on that. It looks a lot better than it was. So that's basically my tip. Can't take credit for it. I thank my Uncle Tony for giving me tips on all things aluminium. I know there's a lot of different ways you can do it. There's all sorts of buffing wheels and cutting compounds and that sort of stuff, but it's a nice simple way of doing it. Once you've done this a couple of times, all you really need to do is just give it a rub down with this super fine stuff and some metho every now and again, and that'll just bring up the polish.